Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Harith FADILLAH bin Muhammad ZAKI. I'm from Group 1, 6BME2. My friend and I would like to present about the three types of air transport service, which are low-cost carrier, full service carrier, and the last one is hybrid service carrier. Let me present to all of you about the low-cost carrier in air transport services. My first topic is characteristic of the low-cost carrier in air transport services. This topic consists of 3 points. My first point is flight plan. In general, low-cost airline will focus their operation on flying shorter and medium distances. They run their business between the cities that have the most foot traffic. In order to function effectively, there should be a greater volume of traffic and there should be a greater number of passengers wanting to travel in order to achieve the desired load factor. When there is higher travel demand between two places, low-cost airlines have a larger number of crew members and aircraft so that they may more effectively employ their resources. For example, Southwest Airlines fly for 7 hours per day to stay ahead of the competition from legacy carriers. My second point is types of aircraft. Low-cost carrier will choose for more fuel-efficient aircraft. Since fuel is the second largest expense for an airline, behind labor, this company will pick more fuel-efficient aircraft. The majority of the aircraft are rented out by low-cost airlines, which means that this plane will have a greater seating capacity but will only provide one ticket class. When there is a greater demand, there will be an increase in income because of the seat density. They rely almost exclusively on Airbus 320 and Boeing 737 aircraft, both of which have a greater seating capacity. My third point is labor cost. 1/3 of an airline income will go into paying its employees since work has to be complete on time in order to meet the needed number of crew members and to deliver superior customer care. However, as compared to legacy carrier, the salaries given to workers are much lower with low-cost carrier. Since low-cost carrier pay their employee less and require them to put in longer hours, these companies are able to make a profit in this area as well. By maintaining computerized systems, airlines are able to avoid having to employ staff at the check-in facilities. Next, I will move to second topic, which is opportunities of the low-cost carrier in air transport service. This topic consists of 2 points. My first point is improve market share. Customers may often consider purchasing a product or service at a cheaper price, particularly when they believe that the value being offered by the competitor is equivalent. If you can provide the same value offering at a cheaper price, you will most likely get their business. This option will, in the long run, result in an increase in the number of enterprises, resulting in a larger market share. The issue when Malaysia Airlines is under more pressure than most its competitors in the region due to the fact that AirAsia, the largest low-cost airline in Southern Asia, was established in Malaysia and is listed on the Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange. My second point is reduces competition. When an airline is in a position to provide a product or service at a cheap cost, it drives its rival to work harder to achieve the same price or a lower one. However, it is often not simple for an organization that already has its structure in place to reform itself in order to attain cost leadership. It is likely that the required adjustment will make it difficult for the rival, particularly new entrants, to continue existing in the market. My third topic, which is the last topic, is challenges of the low-cost carrier in air transport services. This topic consists of 3 points. My first point is government charges and taxes. In spite of the undeniable huge economic and social advantage brought forth by the aviation sector, whether it be low cost or full service, government have traditionally failed in supporting development. In the worst of these circumstances, they manifest itself as opportunistic demands for wealth from the cash cow. In other cases, it simply takes the shape of inadequate financing for infrastructure, or unproductive nationalism in airspace. Airports have been target of criticism in several instances, particularly from low-margin, low-cost carriers. According to Michael Cowley, the huge taxation in the United Kingdom and Ireland account for 25–30% of costs. The effect of taxes and excessive charges typically has higher influence on the pricing structure of Ryanair cheaper rates than it does on other airlines. My second point is fuel costs. A number of low-cost carriers are now willing to admit openly that they had been questioning their ability to continue operating. It should thus come as no surprise that the cost of gasoline is high on the list of dangers faced by the various airlines. In addition, despite widespread concern, there is no way to know for sure whether or not ongoing weak economic circumstances would prevent an increase in the cost of gasoline. For example, the United States Association of Travel Agents has been outspoken in its assessment that prices are driven up not by fundamentals, but rather by speculation on the money market. This viewpoint has widespread support. My third point is airport location. Low-cost airlines often avoid large airports with high parking fees in favor of minor airports, which are generally situated further away from the cities they serve. For example, Love Field in Dallas is preferred by Southwest Airlines over the more modern Dallas-Fort Worth Airport in the same city. Secondary airports are often preferred by low-cost airlines. Landing and ground costs are much less at this airport in comparison to the major metropolis airport. That's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today I would like to present for for fundamental airline economy uh, about low cost carrier opportunities, characteristic and challenges. Low cost company is one of the business model for airline carrier since the business is getting soared up. In these modern days, low cost carrier can be used as air transportation for travel. In Malaysia, we got AirAsia and Firefly for low cost carrier, which people can use for their air transportation wherever they want to go. So, firstly, I would like to talk about opportunities. First, 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 first thing first. Opportunities can attract more customer. Low cost company can attract more customers since they provide low cost of their travel. Low cost of the travel. Me as a customer, uh, of course I want to use the the low cost of my travel to go anywhere I want to go. Okay. So for example, AirAsia provide low cost carrier and it is being used for a lot of people in Malaysia or outside Malaysia, and mainly at Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia people. So since it beside of that, when the company is become attraction of the customer, it can be as a free marketing to the company. When the customer is experiencing the service provided by AirAsia, uh, they will talk a lot about how they experience it to their families member or family members or their friends. So when the company has a good feedback, has a good service, the customer will give a good feedback to the company, and it also can be used for free marketing. Beside of that, the best price which is the low price, can be used to attract the customer, and more customer will use the service provided by the company when the price are low and affordable in customer range. So the second point is reduce competitor. Competitor in airline uh, can be higher due to more airlines provide the same service as air transportation. So how it is how it can reduce the competitor. First, other company is being forced to offer low uh, low low price or the same price. They are struggle to reach the same price as a low cost company provide and give. Beside of that, when the competitor is become reduce or less competitor, so it will attract more customer to the company. So high revenue will become uh, eh, will become to the company. For example, Air Asia. Air Asia provide more provide the low cost for ticket to Terengganu, which is 49 ringgit, for example. So customer who are going to Terengganu as going to their homeland, or going to travel to Terengganu, they can grab the ticket by the time it is available. Okay, so now I would like to talk about characteristic about the low cost company. First, digitalization. They will use all the equipment, all the workers will be replaced with digital. So when digitalization is being used, more cost can be reduced and more income can be generated due to for example, staff related costs can be reduced. And also no more staff at the counter to provide ticket due to we have self check-in kiosks. For example, in airport Malaysia has made a self check-in machine, and the customer do not need to queue at the counter. So it is more save time for the customer, and customer save time, and customer do not need to queue at the counter. Second is profit breakdown. Profit breakdown. Profit breakdown. We can say as profit margin. What is profit margin? Profit margin uh, is the measure of profitability. So uh, it can be calculated by revenue minus by cost divided by revenue. So we analyze in Raya Air, for example, Ryanair. We analyze Ryanair performance over last 3 years. Since 2017, Ryanair scheduled revenues have been smaller than its operational expenses by around 2 billion euros annually, while scheduled revenue has grown by roughly 400 million euro, or 8% since 2017. Ancillary revenue grew by 600 million euro, or 33%. Ancillary revenue has been the key profitability driver throughout the years. So that's the profit breakdown. So next, flight by flight breakdown. flight by flight breakdown. This is one of the strategies that used by Ryanair. Last year, Ryanair carried one 142.1 million passengers with an average passenger fare of 37.03 euro, whereas the cost per book passenger was almost 10 euro higher, as it stood as 47.04 euro. If the ticket were to be the sole revenue driver for the airline, Ryanair would be lost 1.4 billion euros in 2019. However, as mentioned earlier, tickets are not the only revenue source. If we add the ancillary revenue per passenger of 17.15 euros, we get the profit of the roughly a billion euros, which is what we saw in Raya Air. Okay, so next, challenges. Challenges for low cost company, they have to face more challenges. So today I would like to talk about 3 challenges that will be facing by low cost company airline. Low profit margin. Low profit, as I mentioned earlier, profit margin is majority of profitability. So airline only make $164 for every 16,400 dollars they spend on typical domestic flight, according to other analysis at the Wall Street Journal. So when it become, this is due to the fuel price, at the world fuel price, since the fuel is the biggest eating away at the profit, which has gone steadily more expensive, and fuel prices also keep rising from time to time. Next is traffic server jam. When do the digitalization the company will have to face the traffic server jam. So when the traffic server jam, maintenance of machine need to be done in efficient way, and schedule of maintenance time need to be followed, and then upgrade the server by the time of the server need to be upgrades. Thirdly, data leaks. Data leaks is the most thing that need to be avoided by the company, since they need to digitalize their company. The data exposed to the data leak, which exposed to the hacker or viruses. Our data can be leaked to the third party due to the hacker sell to data to other person. With this data leak, our personal detail will be exposed to the party. For example, of the detail, number phone, names, email, or our home address. So when the data leak happen to the company, it can become it can be give big impact to the bad reputation to the company, and people tend not to trust the company product when it happen. And the worst thing happen, the investor will withdraw the money, and their stock market will plummet.
Hello, today I will talk about full service carrier. The first is the characteristic. The first one is cost and fee. Full service carrier often charge higher ticket rates. However, rising competition from lower cost carrier has prompted full service major carriers to dramatically cut their pricing. In some markets, Full-service carrier may provide cheaper flights than budget-price competitors. However, this is not common. Historically, full-service carrier did not charge fees for amenities such as baggage, carry-on bags, booking fees, and other amenities. But several full-service carriers have begun charging for services that were previously free. Full-service carriers normally distribute their ticket in as many ways as possible, such as internet, phone, travel website, and agents. The second characteristic is the cabin class. Full-service airline has various cabins. Passenger purchasing full-service flights can select from several cabins such as economy, premium economy, and business class. Because of full-service carrier have many cabins, their aircraft are often larger than those of low-cost carrier. Passenger can also upgrade their economy seats to premium economy or business class. The third characteristic is the operation. Full-service airlines primarily serve large main airports in major cities rather than servicing minor airports that are less expensive and more accessible. Full-service airlines have one or more significant hubs via which the majority of the flights are routed in order to provide passengers with connecting possibilities. Full-service airlines are also more likely to establish interline agreements, employ code shares, and belong to significant airlines alliance. For the fourth characteristic is the in-flight meals and snacks. When passengers book their flight tickets with full-service carrier, they get a variety of inclusion from which in-flight meals are one of the essential services. All the in-flight meals offered by full-service airline are included in the ticket fares paid by the passengers, and they get a variety of meals to select from and satisfy their hunger. For the next one is the opportunities. Okay, the opportunities is for the higher generation of profit. Full carrier service charge their customer with higher fare compared to low cost carrier. This can cost 3 to 4 times more than low cost carrier per seat. This eventually will give the airlines more profit. This profit will later be used to increase their services or widen their business in this industry. Next one is the challenges of fully serviced carrier. The first challenges is the difficulty to have fully booked flight. As the fare of full service carrier is high, the airline have difficulty to fly with a fully booked seat. This is because if the customer wanted to travel somewhere near, they would need to pay more if they book flight with full service carrier compared to when they book flight with low cost carrier. For example, a Asia ticket flight costs RM74 to RM304 from Kuala Lumpur to Langkawi for the whole next month. Meanwhile, Malaysia Airlines costs them from RM89 to RM617. More customers will be attracted with Asia because of the fare is far more affordable. The second challenge is the competition with other airlines. Full service carriers compete with other airlines, not limited only with the other full service carriers. They also compete with the hybrid and low cost carrier. They compete in terms of fare and service. Some full service carriers may compete with their services only, but with the low cost carrier, they will have to compete in both parts. For the third challenges is the decrease in route and destination. Not all the route options available in 10 years ago still available now. This is because they had to shut down or terminate their contract with the certain airport due to less passengers using their service to get there. As an example, Malaysia Airlines have to terminate the route of Kuala Lumpur to Manchester, Vienna, Zurich, Fukuoka, Nagoya, Calcutta, Pontianak, Xi'an, Chengdu, and Kahira, Kuching to Perth and Sydney, Langkawi to London, and Penang to London. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad MUIZZUDDin bin Muhammad HANIZAR, and I'll talk about the characteristic, opportunities, and challenge of full service airline. For the first characteristic is routes and flights. While low-cost airlines typically use only one or two types of aircraft and fly mostly domestic, short to medium haul routes, full-service airlines use regional partners to serve regional routes to smaller destinations as well as larger wide-body aircraft on long-haul routes to domestic and international destinations worldwide. Next is cabin amenities. Most full-service airlines offer 2 or 3 classes of service and fewer total seats in each aircraft. Seat size and available seat pitch are usually more flexible. Delta, for example, has 124 seats in its Airbus A319 aircraft, but Frontier, a low-cost airline, has 136 seats in the same A319. Full-service airlines typically provide more in-flight perks, such as a larger selection of food and beverage, in-flight entertainment options, and amenities such as headphones, pillows, and blankets. However, some full-service airlines have recently reduced all of them or eliminated some of them. Next is operations. Full-service airlines primarily serve large principal airports in major cities rather than servicing minor airports that are less expensive and more accessible. Full-service airlines have one or more significant hubs via which the majority of their flights are routed in order to provide passengers with connecting possibilities. Full-service airlines are also more likely to establish interline agreements, employ code shares, and belong to significant airline alliances. Next characteristic is seat space. The seats are often more reclined and provide greater legroom than on a low-cost airline, so it is more comfortable compared to the other airline services. For example, if you are traveling to a place where it will take about 8 hours of flight time, your body will need enough space to move freely, especially your legs. It will be more comfortable to travel longer if there is more space provided at the seat space. The last characteristic is airports. Full service airlines will usually use the primary airports while mostly low-cost airlines operate at the secondary airport. For example, KLIA1 and KLIA2. KLIA1 are usually used by the full-service airlines and used for international flight, while KLIA2 are used by the low-cost airlines for domestic flight. Next, I will talk about the challenges. The challenges is fuel factor. The full-service airlines need to face fuel factor since the airlines provide a flight that are international and, of course, it is long flight journey. Therefore, the fuel needed for a long flight journey is a lot. In the current world, the most serious worry for the aviation business is the price of fuel. Due to the rising expenses, several airlines have imposed fuel surcharge on their consumers. According to industry analysis, rising fuel prices are having an impact on most airlines. For example, Singapore Airlines have previously identified fuel costs as its primary problem. Although it does not suffer the same issue as privately held airlines, it is nonetheless find it difficult to deal with the rising fuel price. Non-government owned airlines such as JetBlue and British Airways face a variety of challenges, but fuel price remain at the top priority. When economic recession, things just will get worse. Lastly, I will talk about the opportunities. The opportunities is free travel. The worker for the full service airline have the opportunity to travel to a place that are not their own country and the country that might not been visited by any of them once without paying single penny. The workers can get paid by doing their job while they can travel and enjoy the other country view and experience without needing to use their own money. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To my lecturer, Madam Zabaria. My name is Muhammad NURHADI from class 6 BME2. Today I will present about hybrid service, career characteristic, opportunities and challenges. Okay, for introduction, a hybrid airline is an unofficial term for an airline that operates with a low-cost business model but provided similarity services standard with standard and legacy airline. However, its service is given with moderate prices rather than full service airline. Okay, I will go to the characteristic of hybrid airline. The first characteristic is ticket price. The ticket price is more relevant than low-cost carriers and full-service carrier. This is due to the service given much better than low-cost carrier and almost same with full-service carrier. Customer can purchase ticket via online and the price can be chosen according to their budget. Customer also can purchasing add-on extra services in flight such as food and beverage or blanket during booking ticket. Okay, next, seat arrangement. Hybrid carriers airline give comfort seat for customer to choose, either economic or business class. The customer also can choose their own seat number and booking during purchasing ticket. Okay, for the third characteristic is the flight schedule. The hybrid airline model encourages enterprises to provide a wide range of services to all passenger categories, hence increasing revenues through ancillary income system. As a result, quality entail having a sufficient flight schedule for essential routes that create huge revenue. This allows passengers to make a more informed decision and make their travel more convenient and enjoyable. Okay, now I will talk about the opportunities that hybrid airline can get and do. Okay, for the first opportunity is online ticket purchase. And a hybrid model have chosen the GDS distribution system to sell a large network, particularly to secondary cities. For example, EasyJet is now a hybrid airline use GDS distribution to alter their business strategy. They are focusing their effort on selling to business travelers who continue to rely on management travel groups. As more hybrid airlines focus on the consumer, it is critical for them to provide value from the start. Furthermore, an increasing number of businesses are emphasizing the use of technology to generate value for passengers during this stage of the journey. Okay, the second opportunities is pre-flight service. Additionally, firms such as Ryanair are becoming more customer-friendly, boosting on-board baggage allowance or even cutting their rates. Customers frequently respond positively to minor modification. Other than that, focusing on after-booking services such as taxis and hotel reservation will attract more customers to consume and can increasing company revenues. Okay, the third opportunity is check-in service. The quality of airport services is increasingly dependent on airport infrastructure, personal attitude, and even company policy. For example, Ryanair. Ryanair offers 3 package options, which is range from basic ticket plus most luggage to a corporate flex package that include all of the airline services. On top of that, companies must ensure that the airport infrastructure is ready for their needs as passengers become more selective. This is to ensure the customer like to use our airline. Okay, now I will talk about the challenges of hybrid airline. The first challenges is customer relationship management. In airline, the challenging is pricing sensitive. This is talking about passengers are rarely loyal to a specific airline brand, as price is no longer a unique selling factor. Therefore, it is quite difficult to maintain and find a loyal customer. So, the airline must refresh and make new promotions that more interesting and valuable to attract customer fly with their airline according to customer budget and plan. Okay, last but not least, the third parties handling providers. For the third parties handling providers challenging it is divided into 2 situations which operate at larger airport or at smaller airport for the airline company. If a hybrid airline company operates at a larger airport, it caters to business passengers that require regularity, quick boarding, and high-quality service. Frequency on all routes also help the airline keep costs low by taking advantage of huge discount from larger airport, landing discount, load factor discount, and so on. Furthermore, the increased number of handling companies provide airline with greater options. Okay, then when a hybrid airline operates in a regional or smaller airport, it frequently focuses on leisure or ATIQ traveler. Knowing the kind of client who fly from this airport is critical for developing a plan. Furthermore, as customer preference shift, hybrid business must determine what client want based on the location. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ZAHRATUL BINTI MUHAMAD AZMAN, and I will be presenting air transport services, which is hybrid airline carriers. Hybrid airlines are attributed to the low fare model, where passengers are accommodated and extraordinary service are provided. The concept of sticking to low-cost operations is quickly gaining traction in the aviation industry. This includes point-to-point trips and online seat-only bookings. Both legacy firms and low-cost carriers have experienced significant changes as a result of the volatile global economic aviation industry and the dynamic and highly volatile commercial environment. Nowadays, airline companies have been struggled to give their best service to passengers and customers. Today marks the start of a new operating model, a hybrid approach that incorporates characteristics from both traditional and low-cost carriers. The hybrid model is being adopted by both types of carriers, and it is set to transform an aviation landscape. Moving on to the characteristics of hybrid airline carriers. It is so flexible, and it also offers basic in-flight products. Hybrid airlines are more flexible. Cross-reference data for the new products and services passengers are needed to define most valuable markets that passengers are willing to pay for. As example, from parking to check-in to security to boarding to arrivals, they already improve service boarding to arrivals, whilst generating additional revenue. New initiatives have already tested in order to achieve success implementation. For the basic in-flight offers, after safety, the passenger experience is perhaps the most important factor for your airlines to do right. Because if you don't have a good service offering, you won't have any passengers. And if you don't have any passengers, you'll soon be without an airline. The type of airline you want to start will, to some extent, determine the types of trips you can provide. The diversity of service offerings in a significantly more fragmented marketplace translates into many sorts of airlines nowadays, many of which cross traditional travel market boundaries. In addition, a hybrid class system has emerged, blurring the distinction between the original three-tier scheme even more. Virgin Atlantic Airways was one of the first airlines to depart from the traditional long-haul three classes model of the 1970s and 1980s. Next are the opportunities that hybrid airlines carriers gain. First, profitability markets, increased financial sector, and hybrid technology. The level of competition among airline marketplaces is increasing. Furthermore, as airport rivalry has increased, airport administration has become more profit-driven. As a result, airport and airline executives must devise new methods in order to obtain and maintain competitive advantages. Next is increase the financial sector. The operation of hybrid airlines had an impact on the financial performance of the companies. Avoiding organizational complexity, reducing decision-making confusion, avoiding trade-off of choosing a strategy, and reducing rival attacks are all advantages of using a mixed strategy in the financial sector. A hybrid strategy affected the information content of the earnings information. Likewise, such a strategy may lower the cost of goods and increase the quality of products and services. In addition, the hybrid strategy encouraged banks to invest more research and development. Hybrid technology. One of the most significant developments in economic growth is the technology industry. As a result, a hybrid strategy in the technology business boosts productivity, decreases costs, creates new economic opportunities, boosts job creation and innovation, and boosts trade. In the technology industry, implementing a hybrid strategy boosts competitive advantage, increase market share, improve efficiency, and lower costs. Adopting a hybrid method in agriculture could yield numerous benefits. Proceeding to the challenges that hybrid airlines has faced, first, partnerships and alliance, revenue management, and pure strategy. In general, cost-sharing refers to an airline incorporating partner airlines' flights into its network and agreeing to feed its passengers to the partner airline's flights. Cost-sharing agreements might be route-specific or encompass a large portion of the network of the partner airlines. Cost-sharing is commonly associated with the other types of alliance, such as frequent ferry program partnerships. Outside of alliance, not all code-sharing arrangements take place inside the three global alliances, and limited cross-alliances relationships do exist. For the revenue management, the method of calculating how many seats to make available for purchase in each of the different booking classes with the purpose of maximizing profits is known as airline revenue management. Passengers who pay higher fares are typically business travelers who book tickets closer to departure, whereas passengers who purchase low fares are typically leisure travelers who book tickets further in advance. As a result, a revenue management system must safeguard seats for late arriving business travelers, because the revenue management system determines the number of seats available in each class for customers. Last but not least, pure strategies. The fact that pure strategy produces higher results has been heavily challenged. Furthermore, current research has put doubt on the groundbreaking idea that pure strategy lends to superior performance of hybrid airlines operations. This issue raised the crucial questions of whether pure strategy is still preferable to hybrid strategy. The strategic purity hypothesis, for example, argued that organizations that adopted a pure strategy would perform worse since a pure strategy increases organizational complexity and competition attacks. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.